Well, hey everybody, welcome to another 3-minute clip on highly skilled and deeply formed. Just recently at our AAG Intensive, I did a session where I looked at the contrast between Samuel and Eli's wicked sons, Hophni and Phineas. And the contrast that I drew was simply this, that Hophni and Phineas grew up in the house of God, but Samuel grew up in the presence of God. And this really matters. You know, I don't know about you, but as we're getting into this year, some of it can feel like a little bit of a mad rush. Programs are getting going, events are getting going, church is going, and we're having to find new volunteers and recruit new volunteers. We're having to find new leaders and recruit new leaders and train them up and get them activated and get them going. And in the mad, chaotic rush of this question still really matters, because we can be getting people into the house of God, but we've got to be making sure that they're also growing up in the presence of God. And the question that I want to ask us today is simply this: are we making sure that our highly skilled people are also being deeply formed? You know, as Samuel grew up, God used him to go and choose a new king. And of course, we know that he went down to the house of Jesse, and Jesse had many sons, and Samuel was getting ready to anoint one of the sons as king, the one that God was going to choose. And it says this in verse 6. When they arrived, Samuel took one look at Eliab and thought, "Surely this is the Lord's anointed." But the Lord said to Samuel, "Don't judge by his outward appearance or his height, for I've rejected him. The Lord doesn't see things the way that you see them. People judge by the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." Hey, there may be a whole bunch of highly skilled people coming into the house, and we really need them. We really need them to lean in to helping us build the church, but we got to make sure that they're also deeply formed. This matters to God. You know, in the past, as we began to form people, you would first get people holy, get people discipled, and then you would get people in. But church, as many of us know it today, things are done a little bit differently. And it's not that it's wrong or it's bad, it's just different. These days, in present formation, we first seem to get people in, and then we get people formed. And that's okay, as long as we're still getting people formed. And the question that we need to just pause as we stop and look into the rest of the year is, are we making sure that we're not just recruiting people because we need people, but that we're also making sure that people are deeply formed? This matters. Can I encourage you? Make sure that you're training your leaders and volunteers as they also help you in the recruiting process, not just to look at the outward appearance, people who are just willing and putting up their hands, but also that we're committed to the process of walking a journey with them to ensure that they're deeply formed. God bless.